Namaste, myself JVN Professor K.K. Chaudhary, Department of Science and Technology, Faculty of Education and Methodology, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women University, Jaipur. And today we will discuss about our next session, that is the composition of the blood. Subject Animal Physiology and Endocrinology, course BSc B.Ed ZBC, 4th semester. Most cell of a multicellular organism cannot move around to obtain oxygen and nutrients or eliminate carbon dioxide and other waste. Instead, these needs are met by two fluids, blood and interstitial fluid. Blood is a liquid connective tissue that consists of cells surrounded by a liquid extracellular matrix. The extracellular matrix is called blood plasma, and it suspends various cell and cell fragments. Blood transports oxygen from the lungs and nutrients from the gastrointestinal tract, which diffuses from the blood into the interstitial fluid and then into the body cells. Carbon dioxide and other wastes move in the reverse direction from body cell to interstitial fluid to blood. Blood then transports the waste to various organs, the lungs, kidney and skin, for elimination from the body. Then now come on the components of the blood. When blood, the whole blood has two components. Blood plasma, a watery, liquid, extracellular matrix that contains dissolved substance, and second is the formed elements, which are cell and cell fragments. If a sample of blood is centrifuged in a small glass tube, the cells sink to the bottom of the tube, while the plasma, which is less dense, form a layer on the top. Blood is about 45% formed elements and 55% blood plasma. Normally, more than 99% of the formed elements are cells named for their red color, red blood cells. Pale, colorless, white blood cells and platelets occupy less than 1% of the formed elements because they are less dense than the red blood cells, but more dense than the blood plasma. They form a very thin, buffy coat layer between the packed RBC and plasma in centrifuged blood. Now come on the blood plasma. When the formed elements are removed from the blood, a straw-colored liquid called blood plasma is left. Blood plasma is about 91.5% water and 8.5% solutes, most of which are protein. Some of the protein in the blood plasma are also found elsewhere in the body, but those confined to blood are blood proteins. Hepatocytes synthesize most of the plasma proteins. Hepatocytes synthesize Plasma protein which include albumin, globulins and fibrinogens. Certain blood cells develop into cells that produce gamma globulin, an important type of the globule. These plasma proteins are also called antibodies or immunoglobulins because they are produced during certain immune response. The albumins are 54% of the plasma protein, globulins are 38%, and fibrinogens are 7% of the total plasma protein. Foreign substances such as bacteria and viruses stimulate production of the millions of different antibodies. An antibody binds specifically to antigens that stimulate its production and thus disable the invading antigen. Besides protein, other solutes in the plasma include electrolytes, nutrients, regulatory substances such as enzymes and the hormones, gases and waste products such as urea, uric acid, creatinine, ammonia and bilirubin. The formed element of the blood include after blood plasma, next is the formed element. Formed element of the blood include the three principal components: red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets. RBC and WBC are whole cells. Platelets are cell fragments. RBC and platelets have just a few roles, but WBC have a number of specialized functions. Several distinct types of WBCs, neutrophils, lymphocytes, monocytes, eosinophils, basophils, each with a unique microscopic appearance carry out these functions, which are discussed later. Red blood cells, white blood cells, granular leukocytes, and in granular leukocytes the neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, and second is the agranular leukocytes, T and B lymphocyte and natural killer cells and monocytes. Third is the platelets. The percentage of total volume occupied by RBC is called hematocrit. A hematocrit of 40 indicates that 40% of the volume of the blood is composed of RBC. The normal range of hematocrit for adult female is 38 to 46%. For adult male, it is 40 to 54%. The hormone testosterone, present in much higher concentration in the male than in the female, stimulate synthesis of the erythropoietin, the hormone that in turn stimulates the production of RBC. Thus, testosterone contributes to higher hematocrits in males. Lower value in women during their reproductive years also may be due to excessive loss of the blood during menstruation. A single drop in hematocrit indicates the anemia. A lower than normal number of RBCs. In polycythemia, the percentage of RBC is abnormally high, and hematocrit may be 65% or higher. This raises the viscosity of the blood, which increase the resistance to flow and make the blood more difficult for heart to pump. Increased viscosity also contribute to high blood pressure and increased risk of the stroke. Also contribute to high blood pressure. Causes of polycythemia includes abnormal increase in RBC production, tissue hypoxia, dehydration, and blood doping or use by the EPO by the athletes. So this is the composition of the blood. Okay, I can summarize again that in blood there is the 55% is the plasma, 45% RBCs, then blood plasma 55% it have the 7% proteins and 91.5% water and 1.5% are the other solids. In proteins, albumins contribute 54%, globulin 38%, fibrinogen 7% and others are 1%. In other solutes, they have the electrolytes, nutrient, gases, regulatory substances and the waste products. Then come on the formed element which contributes 45% of the total blood. In formed elements there is platelets which contributes 1.5 lakhs to 4 lakhs, white blood cells 5,000 to 10,000 in and RBCs 4.8 to 5.4 million. These numbers are per microliter of the blood. And in white blood cells, neutrophils contribute 60 to 70%, lymphocytes 20 to 25%, monocytes 3 to 8%, eosinophils 2 to 4%, and basophils are 0.5 to 1%. So the blood, what are the functions of the blood? Transportation. As you have learned, blood transport oxygen from the lungs to the cells of the body and carbon dioxide from the cells of the body to the lungs for exhalation. It carries nutrients from the gastrointestinal tract to body cells and hormones from the endocrine gland to other body cells. Blood also transports heat and waste product to various organs for elimination from the body. Second is the regulation. Circulating blood helps maintain homeostasis of all body fluid. Blood helps regulate pH through the use of buffers. It also helps adjust body temperature through the heat absorbing and coolant property of the water in blood plasma and its variable rate of flow through the skin, where excess heat can be lost from the blood to the environment. In addition, blood osmotic pressure influences the water content of the cells mainly through interaction of dissolved ions and the proteins. Then third is the protection. Blood can clot, which protect against its excessive loss from cardiovascular system after an injury. In addition, its white blood cells protect against disease by carrying on phagocytosis. Several types of blood proteins include antibodies, interferon, and complements help protect against disease in a variety of the ways. So this is all about the composition of the blood. So there are various questions have been arises. What is the composition of the blood? How much plasma is present? How much blood is present? And what is the composition of the blood? And what are the formed elements? How much percentage of the number of RBCs, number of WBCs, number of platelets are present into the blood? How many types of the WBC are present? And what are the functions of the blood? So these are the questions which comes into the various competitive exams like UPSC, RPSC, RAS, etc. Hope you understand the topic. Thank you. Thank you very much.